We are here at a grove in Temecula that was hit by a frost about a month ago, and they had 4 nights of frost, probably in about the mid-20s. And this is a Hass avocado grove, and they're very susceptible to frost if it gets anything below 29 degrees for 4 hours. So what you can see in the background is a lot of dead foliage, and we're going to be showing you some fruit that we're cutting, and we're very concerned about this fruit going to the market, and we'll explain why. I'd like to introduce Jose Avena from Index Fresh. He's a field man for the company. He helps the growers out here determine when to start harvesting. Jose, what's first symptoms you see when they have a hard frost at night? What did you see out here?
Discoloration of the leaves, bronzing of the fruit, and then the stem damage, which is pretty obvious.
How many nights of frost did they have here?
I think it was about 4 nights, consecutive nights.
Okay, so after the first night, it seems like the trees are just not warming up, the soil's not warming up, and it looks like maybe if you have continuous nights, you have more damage.
It was more damage this year, it seems like, than when we had it in '07, because of the duration of the night, the extent of it.
So now what do you advise the growers to do on a deal like this?
Once it shows up, don't do anything, just let the tree itself, come back and tell you where to prune. Slowly, it'll start to come back.
What about harvesting?
Harvesting, I personally wouldn't harvest because of the fruit, the way it shows up into the market.
Okay.
It's just going to be a bad deal for California in itself.
So in a situation like they've had here, would you tell the grower to wait a month or so before? Or?
I would wait a month, and then after that, come back. The fruit that's left, just start to pick it before it drops off, because it won't stay on the tree.
Thank you, Jose.
You're welcome.
We're going to show you what happens when we have a frost at night. Why these fruit are so susceptible to damage. First of all, they have a very thin stem coming into the fruit, the pedicel, and this freezes quite readily. And the xylem elements in here freeze, and they just broke right off. But we'll show you, we'll cut inside here. And we see some damage right here. Now this is actually frozen cells from the water and the water conducting vessels in the stem that went right into the fruit and froze right here. Now they just look slightly water soaked, but what's going to happen, that's going to progress. You can see a little bit more in there. And then we get to the part where we start to actually get some brown damage in here as the fruit starts to soften and ripen just a little bit on into the flesh. Very unacceptable at the market. There's a bad flavor to these. They leave a bad flavor in your mouth. And we have another one over here that's even worse. Take a look at that. This is why we advise the growers not to pick right away. This fruit has to fall off the tree and it won't be harvested. And they're advising the growers to wait a month after the frost. A lot of growers want to get in here immediately and prune the tree because it looks so bad, but let's just wait a little bit. Sometimes the growers prune too much. And you can see down in here we've got some green tissue, but we've also got some tissue, can't quite tell what's alive and what's dead. So we advise growers just wait about 3 months and we'll have buds form and start to grow, and then you can know exactly where to prune. It'll probably be in this area someplace, but sometimes we get surprised. Sometimes we get some buds growing right out of this area right here. And so in that case, if you cut too much, it really puts the tree back a little bit.